Confidence that goes in that, when in doubt, throw to number 4, right?
Devin, talk about the celebration after that between you and Will, just getting in there, and just the hype after that play.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what the brotherhood is, right? I mean, everybody's so happy for each other at the end of the day. We're there with one common goal to win as a team and celebrate as a team, so that was what went on.
Devin, you know how important it is to take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. So how good did that feel? Even though it was just one play, to get out there and to have that play.
Oh, it felt great. It was a big-time moment in the game, right before halftime, so it was a pivotal moment in that game to go on in there and do that. It was electric.
You mentioned it, how nice that you kept it out.
It's unreal. It's super nice.
How do you compare a rep like that versus late in the game, game's already kind of in hand? That's a crucial play versus maybe later when you're still trying to run the offense, but there is difference, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a different stress in your mind, going in there and having to do that. I wasn't totally warm. I wasn't warm at all, honestly. My legs were super stiff, but that's just, competitive excellence. And when your number's called, you got to go out there and make the play.
When you do get those opportunities to get in, do you view that as like, this is my audition for next year?
Yeah, I mean, that's anytime you get in the game, I think it's an audition for next year or even for this year, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to have to be ready and when your number's called.
Obviously, you want to be the starter. So what was it like when you were told, hey, Will's going to be the starter this year?
I mean, obviously there's going to be a little disappointment, but at the end of the day, I'm here to be a Buckeye, and I knew they were going to make the best decision for this team, and so I just got to keep doing everything I can in my power to get myself better and help this team.
How do you embrace your role on the team?
Same way as I did last year. Just keeping myself prepared at all times. Preparing myself like I'm the starter, practicing like I'm the starter, and knowing at any moment I could be in that game.
Devin, how would you describe your relationship with Will right now?
Oh, it's great. I would say me and Will are probably one of the closest, 2 guys on the team. We're with each other from 8 in the morning until 8 at night every day, so we've built a really good bond, and we're there for each other no matter what.
What's one thing that you've learned from him?
He's been playing college football for a long time. He's had a lot of reps in the Big 12 and now in the Big 10, and being able to learn from him and see how he views, our offense differently than he did at Kansas State, it's been super helpful for me.
You mentioned it was good to have number 4. What about number 32?
Yeah, that's what I just said earlier. He made a hell of a block on that nickel that came, and when you got 32 in the backfield, even one, like those guys are going to go out there and put their head on the line for you.
How much does this past game, validate the competitive excellence, the staying ready for you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it definitely validates that. You never know when you're going to be called, and so we just always preach that every day.
Devin, we hear a lot about the catch radius that Jeremiah has. Has it changed at all your mindset when you're throwing passes?
For sure. I mean, if you can put it out there in a spot that only he could possibly get it, he's going to end up getting it.
Yeah, was that kind of like what you were thinking, or was it just go?
No, yeah, I knew in that moment, he was dying in the hole right there, and it was his ball or nobody else's.
You mentioned that importance of staying ready. What are the things you do to prepare yourself to be ready whenever your moment comes?
I've been in here at 6:30 in the morning today. I come in early as possible, try to meet with Billy, try to meet with Coach Kelly as much as I can. All the quarterbacks are in here trying to get as much reps as possible because, I practice with 5 quarterbacks. Not everybody's going to get the amount of reps that they'd like. So, being able to prepare in that classroom and in the film room, it makes a difference going out there on the field.
Obviously, your role is similar to last year, but do you feel like you're a different quarterback than you were last year?
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%. I mean, my mental state has been different. My attitude towards the game has been different. Just my whole approach, I feel like, has been completely different.
What can you learn about the approach you mentioned from last year? What can you learn about the approach from back in Kyle last year to back in Will this year? Is there anything that's different for you?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily different. I think just the time is different. I feel like I'm putting in a lot more time than I did last year.
What's it been like just seeing Julian, his development in the quarterback room?
He's done a really good job, as a freshman coming in here. It's not easy to come into a group of a lot of quarterbacks and have to compete with everybody, because there's 5 guys that can play anywhere right now. So he's done a good job preparing and staying ready too. He has a really good knowledge for the game. He sees it very well, throws a great ball, so he's going to keep competing.
What is that like in season, having 5 quarterbacks when obviously there's only so many practice reps to go around?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Only certain guys are going to get reps, but everybody's ready to go, and everybody knows that at any moment, like it happened in the game, you can be called in to go.
Devin, how would you kind of assess the other drives you've gotten so far this season, the other games? Like maybe things you liked, maybe things you didn't like?
Yeah, I mean, there was some good, some bad. Obviously it was by different plays. I would like to be better on some of the other things, but at the end of the day, I'm overall happy.
With Air getting his black stripe off, what was that like?
It was great. We were fired up for that guy. It's a big moment to get your stripe off and to, finally be validated as being a part of the brotherhood. It was a big moment for him.
Devin, you might have been asked this before I got over because we were listening to Ryan Day, but not only did you go in the game, but then they call that pass.
Mm-hmm.
What did that tell you about, I don't know, the audacity of Ryan and Chip Kelly, but also of their faith in you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a key point right there, is that their faith in me. I think they're confident in my abilities and confident in my preparation to go out there and make big plays and win games for them.
Did you just put your mind in a state? I mean, how did you grip that moment, I guess, mentally?
I really don't know. I just was like, I was playing football, I've been doing it since I was 7 years old and playing Pop Warner when my dad was coaching me. So, it really didn't feel like a huge moment. I know obviously it was a big moment in the game, but I had to trust in my guys. I knew that, Trey was going to go make that block for me. I knew Jeremiah was going to go make that catch. So I was just out there having fun.
You've been asked a lot about Jeremiah, but this receiving core as a whole, does this feel like as complete a receiving core as you guys have had here?
For sure. I mean, when one goes down, there's going to be another one right there ready to go, and they're going to be, just as good, if not better. So having that big group, and it's so diverse with everybody and their different skill sets, but it's unbelievable.
What's it like for an offensive player to see Ryan Day and Chip Kelly being so aggressive on fourth down?
It's great. We love that. We think we could score on every play, and we want to get after teams and show them how much confidence we really have in our offense to go get 1 yard or however long it is.
What kind of advantage is that when you can go into a possession like, we're going to take four plays on this one?
I think it builds a confidence in the team, knowing that they know what we're going to run, even if it's 4th and 1, no matter what. We know we're going to stick our head down and go fight for that 1 yard. That just kind of shows how tough we are as a team.
How warm were you able to get before you went?
Not totally warm. Like I said earlier, my legs were pretty stiff. I got a couple throws, but that was about it.
What are the biggest things you've learned from Chip this year?
Oh man, there's been a ton. Just the way he's had me approach the classroom differently and the mental preparation differently. Practice has been different. The way that we do our run game has been completely different. The offense has expanded so much, and so it's been incredible to learn from him.
As soon as Will goes down, are you automatically up throwing?
Yeah.
Even if he's down for half a second, are you just gotta be ready?
Yeah, for sure. That's why, if you see us every time out, we're throwing too, trying to be ready.
Devin, what's this quarterback room like off the field?
Bunch of really good dudes. Guys that really care for each other, guys that just have fun. We're always pretty laid back and chillaxed, and even in stressful situations, we're there to help each other, calm down and be ready for those moments.
Is it important to have laid-back guys in that room in such a pressured spot like the quarterback position?
For sure. I think there's a lot of stress that goes into this position, and if you let it eat at you and you let it build, it just kind of affects your game. And so being able to relax and just kind of have fun and know that we have the abilities to do, everything that we're asked of, it's no stress.
Devin, you mentioned the more preparation you're putting in this year. Where is that coming off? Is it reading defenses? How are you seeing that help your performance?
I think the biggest thing is just to slow the game down for me, When you go out there anticipating instead of reacting, it's a completely different game.
Who does the best impression of Chip Kelly in the room?
I don't know. I don't think anybody really does an impression of him, honestly.
There's one thing to say you're going to be ready when the moment comes, but then you are and you do it. What did that do for you from an uplifting standpoint?
Yeah, I was pretty fired up, to be able to go out there and make that moment happen for my team and feel the energy from the sideline coming out after that play. I was pretty fired up, and it definitely builds the confidence in me going into, whatever game we have next.
How do you feel like you can build off of that moment?
Like I said, I think there's just a lot of confidence that goes into that, and knowing that I can go out there and make those plays in big moments against the biggest teams, I'm just going to be ready.
Is it a reminder that you do have to stay ready? Obviously you knew this.
Yeah.
Coming in, that was your whole point, but now it happened.
Yeah, for sure. I think last year, there was never a situation where I had to do that. So actually going through it and understanding what it's really like, I think it definitely, puts it into perspective that I really do need to be ready at any moment.
How did the moment Saturday kind of stack up? You had some times last year where you had the rushing touchdown at Purdue kind of sort of, is this a favorite, or how does it compare to those?
Oh, man. Times? The rushing touchdown was pretty good. I think I was the most fired up after this touchdown. Me and Trey were laughing about this on Sunday morning during our lift, and we weren't even speaking English at each other. We were just yelling at each other, screaming after the play. And I came over to the sideline. When I sat down, I was shaking because I had so much adrenaline going. It was just a crazy moment.
What made this one extra special?
I think just knowing that I didn't know I was going to go in, didn't know when I had to be ready or anything. I think it was just I was called and I made the play.
So more than the deep shot last year?
The one to the BI or the Carnell one?
Either.
Yeah, that was the first touchdown pass, so that was pretty fired up. But no, I think that one I was the most fired up for because I literally had the craziest adrenaline dump. I was shaking. I thought I was going to throw up. I was just so juiced up. I was just, I don't know.
That just happened, right?
Yeah.
Is that literally the feeling?
It was funny. So Trey, like I said, Trey went and made that block, and after I threw the ball, I turned around, and he got up off the floor, and we both just ran at each other. I guess my mom said like I jumped up and did the splits or something, like I don't, like in the air. I really don't even remember. It was just a blur.
Devin, thank you.
Thank
Thank you
guys.
guys.